I'm totally afraid. I'm afraid of everything. I'm afraid of losing. I'm afraid of being humiliated. But I'm totally confident. The closer I get to the ring, the more confidence I get. The closer, I'm more confident.
The new definition of confidence. Confidence is the willingness to try.
My confidence comes from both my faith and in the fact that I keep promises I make to myself.
Borrow confidence from the past.
Confidence.
It's great to see you.
And thank you. Like after a long time, I'm seeing your progress every single day in your Instagram stories.
Oh yeah?
Yes, and congratulations. You are starting on your book, right? You're working on your book.
Yeah. Well, it was originally one book, then it morphed into two. Now all of a sudden there's 3 books, and it blows my mind. It blows my mind. I'm very lucky to have a wife that's an author that's doing a lot of the writing.
Editing. Yes.
Yeah, well, not just editing. So I'm talking and she's doing a lot of the writing, and then she'll give it to me. Then I'll go back, edit, and then we'll pass it back and forth.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you are blessed for her. Blessed.
Yeah, in many, many ways.
Yes. Like, how is Lily?
Lily's doing great. Yeah. She just turned 5.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, she's amazing. She's amazing.
Awesome.
Blessed every single day with her.
Nice.
How about you? Yeah, I heard that you're in India.
Yes, I moved back to India. So I'm doing great, and the situation right now is like it's not that critical, but it is like they're right now by day they are allowing people to move onto the roads, so do their work. So how is the situation in New York?
It's rough. We're one of the hot spots.
Yes, it is the largest city, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and so I'm not in the city. I live outside of the city, but we've been affected a lot. Oh, hello.
Hi. She wants to say hi. She said that she likes your name, Michael.
Oh, thank you. What's your name?
Rupika.
Rupika?
Yes. Yeah.
Very nice to meet you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you too. Nice to meet you too.
How old are you?
Huh? How old are you? Age. 8 years. 10. 9.
Wow, 9 years old. I have a 5-year-old daughter. Her name is Lily.
Okay, say bye. Bye.
Take care.
So right to the point, I want to learn from you, what are the ingredients that needed to start a company, because you started your own company, right? Not just a company, in regards to mindset, in regards to mindset shift, and also building the team and hours you put in, and also the habits you changed.
Oh wow! All right. So where should we begin? That's a lot.
Yes,
we could go. Yeah, we could write books on each of those topics.
Yes, you can start with your morning routine, because I started I got to know about priming meditation through your stories.
Okay. Yeah. So the morning routine is real simple. I wake up, feet on the floor, have gratitude for being given another day. Right? And the way that I'm looking at this whole pandemic, I think that it's kind of the reset that the world needed. There's a lot of harsh things that have happened to a lot of people, but I'm also looking at it as there's a lot of, I see the universe and the world as always serving us, and it's up to us to kind of figure out what's some of the ways that it's doing that. And for me, it's reinforcing a lot of the gratitude habits. So first thing, feet on the floor, grateful to have another day. Then after I brush my teeth, I'll grab some water, put some the stuff called athletic greens in it. It's like a superfood thing. I like it. I don't know if it's doing everything, but like it's good.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. Then I'll do that priming exercise, the Tony Robbins priming exercise, and he just put one on Instagram, which was fantastic. So I'll do that. That's 15 minutes. Then after that, I'll read for 20 minutes. Right now, I'm reading Jim Quick's book.
Limitless. Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
I thought.
loving it so far.
Mhm.
I went through a speed reading course too, which was amazing. Highly recommend the speed reading course. Then after I'll read for 20 minutes, then I'll plan my day. I've got my high performance planner, Brendan Burchard planner. It really is like such a great way to like fill out everything. Like you fill out, you give you a message to yourself. Fill out your top 3 goals, right? Like, so it's kind of like narrowing the field of like, what do you want to accomplish before like you start like going into a whole to-do list, just thinking like, what's the goal? Well, what's going to move the ball forward? And then figure out like, okay, well, what are the tasks that I want to do to support that goal? That was a big change for me. Like I used to be one of the people that would have, like a whole to-do list in here with like 50 different things, and then like other to-dos on other spots. And yeah, I would check things off and I'd feel like I'd be getting things accomplished, but I wouldn't really be moving the ball forward in a meaningful direction, and I'd feel overwhelmed. Doing it this way helps me focus on like, all right, I've got 3 main goals, right? If nothing else happens today, what are the main things that I want to happen? And so I'll write them down, and it's not always going to be like, oh yeah, like talk to RJ, or like it's not like a test thing. It's more like how do I do this well? How do I connect with you well? Well, what kind of energy do I want to bring? What kind of energy do I want to bring to the clients that I'm going to speak to after this call, right? How do I have energy throughout the day? And it's bringing intention to each thing that I'm going to do. And then after I've planned out this parts of that, all that takes me an hour, right? So the meditation, 20 minutes, the reading, 20 minutes, and then planning my day, 20 minutes. So that's the first hour. Then after that, I'll exercise for half an hour. And so lately that's been, I have a little home gym, which is just a bench and some free weights. I'll either do that or I'll go for a run. I'll do that for half an hour, sometimes a little bit more. While I'm doing that, I also have my headphones in, and I'll be listening to an audiobook. Right now I'm listening to Robin Sharma. I knew about the when he wrote that book. Well, what was it called? The Monk That Sold His Ferrari.
Yes.
And then I saw this other book called The 5 a.m. Club. It's like, oh, let me try this one first. I'm liking that one a lot. Have you read that one?
No, but I bought the book.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So far it's amazing.
1 minute, like I want to suggest you one book, like a Simon Sinek new book, The Infinite Game. It's like I started listening to audiobook. It was like fantastic.
Oh yeah?
Yes.
Infinite Game. All right. I'll need to write that one down. Infinite Game. All right. Simon Sinek. Yeah. Like I'm a Simon Sinek fan. I actually haven't read any of his books yet. I want to get into his books. I've watched a lot of his videos.
Awesome. Like 2 of his favorite books are like Start With Why and this one, new book, Infinite Game.
Absolutely. Yeah. Big fan of his work. Haven't read his books yet, but yeah, like it's on the list now. Awesome. So let's see. So that's basically what the morning routine looks like: exercise, shower, and then family time. Family time, and then I'll start working at 9 o'clock. So I've already like plan my whole day, got my morning, like I'm energized, I feel good, I'm relaxed, I'm in a positive state. And I've spent meaningful time with family. Now I'm ready to go and execute the plan that I wrote first thing in the morning. So what's not part of the morning routine is looking at the phone or like, like going through a lot of different messages. Like I know that I sent you a message early this morning, but like that with intent, right? Like it's not just like randomly scrolling through like, oh, well, what's on my feed? It's like, doing this part first because it's so easy to get sidetracked. And something pretty new that I started doing too, like I went through Brendan's book again, and he recommends mastering transitions and to do kind of like the Pomodoro technique. Are you familiar with that?
No.
It's like where you're working for a certain period of time, then you take a break, then you work some more, and then you take a break.
Yeah, I saw that in his video, one of his videos.
Yeah, oh my God, it's a game changer. So I've been doing it now for a couple of weeks, and I'm reinforcing that habit. So what I'll do is like at the top of the hour, I'll set a timer for 50 minutes, right? And I'll have it on my watch. So just having that little timer counting down, like keeps me more focused on the task at hand, because like, now I've only got 45 minutes and 3 seconds, versus like looking at the watch and seeing like what time it is. Like seeing the numbers tick off like gets me more motivated. And it also at the end of the 50 minutes I'm getting a reward, like here's your 10-minute break, right? And so on the 10-minute break I'm very intentional too. Like I'm not doing like extra catch-up work. It's like, all right, get up, get away from the computer, go downstairs, grab some water, say hello to the family, and then I'll do that for 5 minutes, then come back and I'll meditate, like go right over there on the floor. I'll turn off the lights and just do a quick 3-minute release meditation. That's another Brendan Bashar thing. He has a YouTube video about release meditation. It's basically just you close your eyes, you repeat the word release to yourself as a mantra, and you're focusing on releasing tension from your mind, from your body. Any thoughts that pop in, release those too, and then set intention for the next thing. And I find that I have a lot more energy later in the day as a result of that habit. Like in the beginning of the day, when I first started doing it, it's like, man, like I could get so much more done in this first like 10 minutes. Like I'm giving up this to do it, but it's more about like the Formula One race car, right? Like it can still go, like it doesn't need every pit stop, but taking the pit stops lets it do the entire race. And that's what it's about. It's about doing the entire race. So that's what I've been doing lately.
If you miss, sometimes you may miss your morning routine. Like so on that days, like what you tell yourself?
Yeah, so that's a great point. Like that's the routine. Am I on the routine 100%? Hell no, right? Like, and it's not like because it's just like, God, screw the routine. Like I don't feel like doing it. Yeah, like some days like it'll be rough. Some days like say last week, like the whole family, like we all just kind of got up late. Part of what I'll do too is trust my body, like how I'm feeling. Like if I need like a bigger reset, like and my body's telling me that, then all right, the routine will
you listen to your body.
Yeah, right. And I'm getting better at forgiving myself, right? Like because there's one thing to let like if you have like multiple days like that in a row, then it's like, okay, something's up. But if it's one day, like don't kick yourself, right? Like I used to be the guy that's like, come on, man, like let's go and like just try to plow through. Like that's that doesn't work, at least not for me, right? Like maybe it works like in that instant, but like the downside is that it's like, can the race car move forward with a flat tire, yeah, it can, but it's not a good idea. You're going to end up busting the rims and you're creating more problems for yourself. So just take that time, fix the tire, and then carry on.
And like what I really admire in you is the consistency and the discipline you put in your work. So what are the what are the consistent things you do to keep up those qualities?
Well, what kind of consistencies are you seeing?
In terms of your work, like in your business.
Like for Instagram?
For Instagram and also you are like putting up, like you also conducting webinars. Like I saw
so I'm not familiar with how much you're familiar with. So you're familiar with a lot.
Yes.
So part of it comes from having themed days, right? And that's a tip that I picked up from Evan, right? Like so Evan has like some days where it's like, oh, this is my team meeting day, this is my content creation day. So for me, yesterday was my content distribution day. Okay. So I'll create all the content ahead of time, and then on Mondays I'm focusing on distribution. So I have this this thing called Agora Pulse, where I upload my content. And so I'll have content scheduled for a month, but it's all there, like, and then it's just like, okay, upload this for Instagram, for Facebook, for LinkedIn, for Twitter, and have all that content going out. I find chunking the time in that way to be very helpful. I'm still looking for a way to automate Instagram TV uploads. Okay. So if you hear of one, let me know. Like I found there was like a Facebook creator, but it kind of sucks. Didn't work well for me. So I'm still manually uploading IGTV. But yeah, like the more stuff that I can automate, that's helpful.
And have you found any solution to download IG live stream?
Oh, so the hack that I found for that, and I haven't done an IG live in a while too, but I started playing around with some stuff. So now what I would do if I'm going to do an IG live would be to have the camera set up like this, like right in front of the computer, and then be recording off of the webcam and record myself that way.
Oh, okay.
Right, so that way, like it wouldn't be where I would be doing an interview, but if I'm going on Instagram Live, and this is another thing that I picked up from seeing a lot, like how Brendan does IG lives, and I see like some other people where they'll like, they'll go on, they'll answer a bunch of, they'll have their little talk, like maybe about 10-15 minutes, then they'll do questions, and it's like, well, how do they have the screen wide and in like high depth? Then it's like, oh, they're filming off of another camera. And so it's kind of like getting a 2-for-1. So that would be the strategy that I would use for doing an Instagram live. Do the Instagram live, but record on the computer and
in a different device. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and then you take that content and then you could chop it up into different things. That's what my video editor is doing now too. She's taking some of the YouTube videos and then so I'll shoot a YouTube video, then she'll translate it into YouTube, into IGTV, then she'll chop it up into highlight videos that I'll post on TikTok and the IG stories and on Twitter. And then we were testing taking the videos and turning them into blog posts. It didn't translate as well as we had hoped. Yeah, because the way that I speak versus the way that I write is kind of different. Like having just a straight transcription, it doesn't flow as well.
Yeah, it doesn't work like that. Yeah, it keeps the readers like interesting.
Yep. So
like
finding ways to speed things up and automate that's.
And like, what about like how many members are there in your team, or you are the only person doing the work?
No. Well, I'm looking to expand. Definitely looking to expand. How many people do we have? I think we've got like half a dozen people. Let's see.
Because like when I went to your website, I saw I didn't remember her name, but I found a lady name like saying that she works for Maravel.
Yeah, Melissa.
Yes, I didn't remember the name like exactly, but yeah.
Yeah, that's my wife.
Yeah, I know her.
Melissa, yeah, she says hello. By the way,
hi.
I told her I told her that we were talking today, and she wanted me to say hello to you.
Thank you.
So there's me. We've got Melissa. Michelle's my video editor. Vikram's making the memes that you see. All those with the cartoons.
Yes.
Those are fantastic. I love those.
I love those. Yeah. They're like very interactive.
Yeah, that's great. It's really great, and like he keeps on getting better and better at it too. I love it. Jarek has been fantastic. He does my website. Liberty has acted as a community manager. I think you know Liberty.
No, I don't know Liberty. I think I saw her name on your website.
Yeah.
That's the one who I saw. Yeah.
And then Beth. Beth is also a content creator. Like she's a nutritionist, lifestyle coach. I worked with her many years ago. She's fantastic. She actually started talking about the vagus nerve, with like the mind-gut connection first, and then just like I never heard about that before. Then one of the first things that I read in his book, like chapter 2, he's talking about the mind-gut connection and mentioned the vagus nerve. It's just like, oh wow, all right, interesting. Never heard about that before until
So you hired them full time, or you started like working with them as?
No, like everybody is project based. So I'm the only full time person, and everybody else, they're working on it as they can. But that's one of the great benefits of a business like this is that it's so flexible.
Yes.
Right. So I just aim to have great people on my team that we could, that we gel well together. Similar mission, vision, goals, friendly, upbeat people. Like that. That's what I like.
And are you interacting with your team, like how to make it better, as Evan Carmichael's do on Mondays, right? He will interact with Alex and also Jeremy.
I meet with them on different days, different times, so that way it works better for them.
Oh, okay.
Like not everybody's able to meet on say Monday at this time, that time. It's more about like for them say like Jarek, like I'll meet with him like in the evenings on Thursdays. Then say Michelle, we're kind of going back and forth like by email most of the time. She just had a baby, right? And she's still she's incredible. So like a week after she gives birth, she wants to get back and like editing videos. It's not like okay, like I'm not gonna stop you, thank you, but I'm very blessed to have a lot of dedicated people around.
Did you found them through any website, or you hired them through any website?
No, these are mostly friends. Right? Like the only person that I haven't met personally, like I haven't met Liberty in person. Right? Like I met her through Instagram. I haven't met Vikram yet. Vikram, I met, he found me through Instagram, reached out and just like, hey, can I do some work for you? Sure, like let's test it. And then all of a sudden, you're doing great. Let's grow, and we're doing more and more. Everybody else though, Melissa,
Yes.
I met her in this Chinese restaurant a long time ago, 15 years.
Yes.
Michelle is one of her close friends from college. did the video editing. Jarek I've known from my early childhood, like maybe since I was about 9 or 10 years old. And Beth, we found each other on Twitter years and years ago, before I even had Mara, back when it was Chart Your Trade. That was my first business that I sold a couple of years back.
Oh, yes. You used to have that, like a YouTube channel for that, right? Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Yes.
The YouTube channel is still up. The new guy that owns it, Adam Sarhan, I think he put up one video. The YouTube's not really his thing, I don't think, but the channel is still there and the videos are still up.
Yes, like I used to watch your channel as well, because I don't know about trading, but I like the personality and I like the consistency you put. So.
Oh, thank you.
And is Melissa is your chief heart officer? Like
yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, chief heart officer, like keeps me in line, and like helps me structure my projects. Like she was very helpful in getting the book done. Right? Like just be like, look, like 2 hours every day until it's done, and then it's like, all right, well now I've got the edited copy sitting here. That's round 1 of editing. It's going to go through probably at least 2 more rounds of editing, I think. My first book, so she's the guide. She's the one that's written, gosh, like I've lost track of how many books she's written, at least like a dozen.
Yes, because like I interviewed her as well on Instagram Live, so.
Yeah, she completed the series.
Yes.
She completed her book series, and we had a whole party over here right before the shutdowns and quarantines happened, like early February. We did that.
Nice. Like, what about the mentor role in the business? Like, you're taking mentorship from like a Jay Rice, right?
So we're actually not. I'm not with him anymore.
Oh, okay. I don't know that. Yeah.
It was okay. Like it was good for the time. It just it didn't work out, and we parted ways.
Oh, okay.
But he's still a great guy. Still love him a lot. But yeah, we just decided that this would be for the best.
Okay. What about the mentorship? Like, who is your current mentor? Are you taking any mentorship from anybody, or you're just getting mentorship through books or videos, through content?
Yeah, through books, videos, environment, like the people, this conversation, right? Like I'll learn just as much like talking to you as I would like from listening to Robin Sharma, right? Like it's because it's the questions that are asked that are often the unlocks to different things. So I'll learn things talking to you. I'll learn things in a webinar that I'm giving based off the questions that people are asking, and also with the webinars too. And this is a trick from that I learned like way back, like just how valuable it is to teach, right? Like because when you're teaching and you're trying to give information to somebody, like it forces you to, presuming that you want to do a good job, to learn it in such a way where it's not just easy for you to understand, but it's something that you could give to somebody else and they can understand and have value with it. That reinforces the information in a much deeper way. And yeah, so I'm constantly learning from all different sources.
And like, how you can, like, right now we are in a pandemic situation, right? COVID is going on, and what is your take on converting this crisis into an opportunity?
Well, I think that it's a great opportunity for a lot of people. A lot of the people that I'm seeing that have been coming to me now are looking for ways to make money because businesses slow, businesses shut down. The market has, I felt the market has been one of the best opportunities in the world for decades. And it's one of the few things that never shut down. So I think that the market can be a solution for a lot of people. I think that people should learn how to participate, regardless of like there's a way for everybody to participate. It doesn't mean that you have to be a full-time trader. You could even or even focus on supplemental income. If you wanted to learn how to invest for like long-term, you could do that too. And like everybody, I think the point is that everybody needs some kind of financial knowledge, and for those that do want to take the next step and learn how to speculate or trade for themselves, this is a great time. And I'm already seeing more of a flock towards that, and I think that that's going to continue even more.
Nice.
Yeah, well, one of the things that I did, like almost like when the first quarantine happened, like when the market started to crash, like I did 2 weeks straight of free webinars. Like just come, like we'll talk, we'll show you the whole pre-market routine, end of day wraps, and like just free. Like it was a marathon of webinars.
Okay.
Yeah, and then that for me that ended up launching this new part of the business where I'm doing group coaching, and have like webinar subscribers, and like now put the business on a different path, right?
Awesome.
So yeah, it's seeing give from the heart, like give like what feels good, and then like magic starts to happen from there.
That is what I also observed with Simon Sinek. That is what he is doing. He started doing YouTube lives, like a parts, 6 or 7 parts, and then he is like displaying webinars on his website. So for a limited seats.
Awesome.
Yeah.
See, so it's a thing that works, and yeah, like meeting on Zoom, right? Like how blessed are we to live in this time?
Yes.
Right? Like if we're going to have a global pandemic, like that to be able to sit here or stand here and talk to you, other side of the planet, pretty much in real time.
Yes.
Yeah, like we're spatially distanced, but I think that we're socially tighter than ever.
Yes, exactly. And what are the changes you guys expect after the pandemic, even in the market or even in the lifestyle wise?
Changes that I would expect. I like, it's interesting. I tend to be more in the moment versus like looking super forward. Like I think that this is going to happen. I think that's going to happen. So it's hard to say. I think that will be more like the way that business is viewed or working remotely is viewed has was changing, and that's been hyper accelerated. I think that we'll see a lot more people working from home or having some other idea of how to work remotely. I think that schools and education are going to be drastically different, right? So many of my younger cousins that were getting ready to start college were told that they need that they're not going to be able to go in the fall, and they'll have like remote learning
classes. Yeah.
So if they're doing remote learning and you could go and learn from, say, a Harvard professor for very cheap online, then it's like, well, why do I need to pay $40,000-$50,000 a year for this piece of paper? Right? I think that academia is going to see some massive shifts.
And what is the advice you give who want to start learning about the trading? Because I don't know, I have zero knowledge, but I have that interest towards that. I want to start learning? Like, what is the advice you give? The first advice.
The first advice. So I have this thing on my website called the Trader's Thought Box. It's the top 10 things that like. If I had a time machine and I could go back in time and talk to Mike from 20 years ago, it'd be like, hey, Mike, this is what I think that you should know. And so I would tell people to start with that. It talks about things like mindset, things like position sizing. It talks about things. It talks about pick first out, like starting out with what your goal is, reverse engineering how to get to that goal, and then figuring out like what you can execute well, what's going to fit with your lifestyle. Things that like I had to learn the hard way because most trading books don't talk about that part of it. So you could like my experience was like, I want to make a lot of money, so I read a book like, oh, like this is how you can make a lot of money. Great. How but people, and that's how most people go to the market, but they don't consider what they're able to execute or what executing this strategy really means. So they end up with a strategy that doesn't work well with their beliefs, doesn't work well with their lifestyle, and then they can't execute it, and then they wonder, oh, well, there must be something wrong with me, right? But it's kind of the equivalent that I think it was I might be misquoting Einstein, but I think that it was him that said that it would be the equivalent of telling a fish to climb a tree, and then saying that the fish is stupid, right? Like, no, it's not the case at all. Like, hey, right? Like, you wouldn't do that. Like, it just makes sense. So, figure out yourself first and what it is that you want to try to achieve, and then start modeling success. And there's a lot of different ways to trade and be successful at this game. There's some basics that are universal to win, like having a trading plan, right? Like it's very similar to the types of things that would win in business, right? Like have a plan, prepare, execute your plan, then have a post-analysis for that plan, and wear those hats separately. Like you need to wear all the hats, but don't be like the guy on Sesame Street that's wearing like 20 hats at the same time. Wear them one at a time. So planning is separate, right? Like I'll do most of my planning on the weekend. Then during the week, execution mode. I have my plan. I know exactly what to do. I'm executing. And people have a tough time saying like, oh, well, like the market's doing this. What do you do? Well, you follow your plan. You already thought through those things. And it's in following through on the plan and making following through on the plan a habit that you could then, first you want following through on the plan to be a habit. So that way you don't create a habit of like, you wrote this plan and you toss it out the window the moment that something goes. Like you want to have a habit of following through on the plan. Then afterwards, after the plan is fully executed, you're done, then you could go back and say, well, what went right and what can be improved? It's kind of like what Goggins talks about in his book, the Can't Hurt Me book, where he's talking about the post-analysis, or I forget what he calls it, but going back and reassessing, like, well, what went right, what went wrong, like how could we improve? And that's the idea. I think that there's certain tactics to learn, but people could. It's simple enough.
Because like I don't know anything, so like getting basic knowledge, like is there any app I can start learning, or because I have like a zero knowledge on that, so that's why.
So start with why, right? Like back to Simon Sinek. Start with why. Well, why would you be interested in it?
Why, in the sense like I don't know, but I want to.
Okay. Like, do you have an idea of what you're hoping to achieve with it?
It's like trying a new thing.
So kind of like playing like a new game. Like, oh, I heard about this thing. Like, let's try it out.
It's not like that, but the first thing is not about like getting money, but I want to like learn about that process of trading.
Then For you, what I would recommend, like there's a book or a book series that I feel that everybody, like everybody that's interested in trading, should read. It's called Market Wizards, and it's by a guy named Jack Schwager. He interviewed the top traders and money managers in the world, and compiled this book with all these interviews in it. So I would suggest to read that, because there's bound to be at least a couple of people in there that you're like, wow, that makes a lot of sense, right? And then for those people, then you go deeper into their content. So it's finding out, like, it's kind of like you watch Evan's channel, you see what resonates with you, and then you dive deeper into those people's contents. That's basically what Schwager did for trading.
Awesome. Okay. So these are all the questions that I have. Like,
all right.
Yeah, because like I don't know about my younger brother. He tried trading, but he stopped. I don't know why. He tried a part time. So, but like that gave me an interest. Okay, why can't I learn trading? So.
You can. Part of it too. I would say that, like, if you're going to be serious about it, treat it as a business, treat it as a profession. I think that one of the big problems that people have is that that they think that you could just, get an app and click a few buttons and now you're making money. But
that's what I see in ads. That's why I'm asking you, like, how.
It's not. Like it might be that simple to open up an account and click a few buttons, but it will be the same thing as like, here's a scalpel and there's your patient, go do heart surgery. All you have to do is just cut here and there, and that's it. Right? Like, no, that's not it. Like, you're gonna kill the poor guy and you're gonna get sued. So yeah, like there are some things that you would need to know beforehand before going off and executing. And one of them is, like, well, what is the goal? Like, am I trying to make a supplemental income out of this? Do I want to buy something today and hold it overnight? Or am
I had that idea. Like, I want to buy something and hold it. Like, that's what the basic idea I have.
So buy something today and hold it for a week, a month, a year. Well, what do you think?
Number of years.
All right. So you might want to take a look at Warren Buffett, right?
Okay. Yes.
He's the ultimate long-term investor.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So it would be worth studying him and what he does, how he does it. He has some books. He also releases an annual letter that's publicly available. You could read through and see what some of his mindsets are, and then that'll be how you could go from where you're at now to starting to bridge the gap to, this is what I need to do, right? And a lot of people too, a mistake that I see a lot of people make is that they'll have this idea. Then, like, let's say that you read Buffett and you're like, wow, like, this makes a lot of sense, I'll buy this. Then some people will get distracted by the media, by somebody else that they look up to that has a different perspective, and then they'll start to second guess themselves. Mm-hmm. So part of what you need to do is not have, and this is how I'll operate, I don't have conviction in any of the ideas that I have on. Like right now, I have PayPal, I have Amazon, Microsoft, and a company that you probably never heard of called Vertex. Okay. But I don't have conviction in any of those ideas. What I have conviction in is my system, because I've backed the system. I've seen the results that it's had in back tests. I've traded this for a number of years, and I know that if I continue to execute, then the results is going to outperform the market by quite a bit. So I'm not married to any of those ideas. It's more of the system of how to execute that I have faith in. And the faith that I have in it comes from having done the work. So it's more than just reading a book and saying, yeah, what that guy said makes sense, and now I'm going to go off and do it. It's reading the different books, taking a bit from that guy, taking a bit from that guy, taking a bit from this girl over here, and testing it and seeing it work, and then saying, oh, okay, like I've walked this path, I know that this actually works, and then going and doing it.
Okay, and the last question, what is your motto, or what I can say is, I'm not getting that word. So like, what do you want to achieve, like in a in a bigger goal, in a bigger perspective?
In a bigger perspective, I want everybody to have financial education. Well, what I'm aiming to achieve by the end of the year is to help people that are on their path, that are trying to I would say, like, if we're looking at this as a marathon, right? Like a marathon that you actually go and you run. Like, you have the people that are brand new, first time marathoners. You have the people that or that they don't know, like, well, what a marathon is. Then you have some people that are kind of elite runners, and then you have the people that are looking to win the race. For me, for right now, like, I'm focused on getting the people that have started to run to the elite level, and the elite level to the Olympian level.
Okay.
And then once that is firmly in place, and that'll be through the continued webinars, through the books, through a course that's coming out very soon, then I'll be able to focus more time on getting the beginners on board. So it's kind of like how Elon Musk first started with the Roadster, right? Because getting the Roadster up and going allowed him to finance the other projects, right? Where he had the less expensive car that's more affordable for the masses. So I'm learning from him, like, okay, I'll have this higher end, like, Olympian product and elite level product first, and then I can help design something for for the Uber beginner.
Awesome, awesome.
Yeah.
And thank you, Mike. I think you have to go to other meeting, right?
Yes, thank you, and I appreciate you keeping an eye on the time for me.
Thank you so much, because like I kept an alarm for you. To remind
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much
That's
for
so
giving
kind.
me.
You're the best.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing all this information, because I admire, because sometimes I feel very low, but when I watch your Instagram stories, I feel like, okay, I need to get on to work. So.
Hey, you keep doing what you're doing. I think that you're doing great. Yeah, and if you need help, like, reach out anytime. Like, if you want to chat some more, reach out anytime. DM. I'm here for you. I want to see you succeed.
Sure. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Yeah, say hi to Lily and Melissa.
Will do.
Yeah.
Take care.
Take care. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
There's a difference. I want to do it, and I want to be a rock star, right? Like, and that's where you influence people. Like, you know, like, I want to do it, but I also want to be the most popular. And so then that person's like, oh, I want to be him, so I guess I'll be nice. Like, I want to literally take people who have DNA that's kind of nice and make them more nice